I started putting the interior back in. I had this is the back window trim, and it had a crack in it. So I took a piece of stainless steel rod, heated up both ends, dropped it into the slot. That melted into the plastic, which allowed it to hold temporarily so that I could run epoxy. Came out pretty good. And it's taking like 10 times as long to get the interior back in that it did to remove, but I'm getting there slowly. Getting set up now to start building the speaker boxes for the car. So I could have set up a table saw to make these cuts, but it takes a long time to get the whole thing set up right. This is kind of a quicker, easier way, just using a skill saw. I use a straight bar as my guide for the saw, and it just makes perfect cuts every time. Speaker box is coming along pretty good. I used 3 bits. Drilled my pilot hole. And then a little bit bigger for the screw through the top, and then my countersink. And I just run a bead of glue across, clamp it down, screw it all in. Just needs a thin bead of glue, not too much. So the box is just about done. I'm getting ready to cut the port. This is my port. And because I have to make a precise press fit cut, I'm using the most dangerous tool I own, this thing. It's got just 2 blades, one on each side, and it has cut me many times over. I really hate this thing. What's great about this tool is these blades are just about worn right out. I'll get maybe another 2 or 3 cuts and I can throw it away. I can't get replacement blades. I can throw this thing away and never ever consider buying another one again. That's the best part. I'm sure there are better options, but at the time this was a pretty good deal. So I've got it just to the point where I can do a press fit. I'll have to shave it down a little bit. So I'm just going to do a little bit of sanding, like 10 seconds, and it should be good. Perfect press fit. Got the sub box finished. It just fits in there. Like I didn't give it even a fraction of an inch. But it does fit in. And I have a little bit of room on each side of the box. Decided I'll throw some rear speakers in as well. But I only have a little bit of room, so this is what I ended up with. Pretty much as small of a box as I can make. So I don't know how that's going to come through on the audio, but running about 3/4 volume, there's 0 distortion, so that worked out perfectly. I didn't have a plan or anything. I just went with the size I had, or the space I had available. I used 4x8s because that's what came with the car. But the way they were installed, they sounded terrible. In the box, they sounded great. So I just about got this done. After running it for about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, this heat sink is smoking hot. It's getting hot because all the power is going straight to the speakers. If you don't have a good match, this heatsink would never get hot. The speakers would distort way before that. But I've got a really good match here. Now, in the car, these will never be running this hot. This will never heat up as much because the other speakers factor in. So right now I'm putting in pretty much a perfect match from the output of the stereo to the speaker, which means transistors are running at full output. But once I run front speakers and sub, it's going to be less of a perfect match, and you run below distortion levels. So these won't be putting out as much. The whole system will get tuned and turned down quite a bit. So the deck won't get stupid hot like it is right now. Rear speakers are in. I just have to straighten them up a little bit after I get the sub box, which is going to be really tough. This only fits one way. I made this box a little bit too tight. And somehow, well, actually, I have to wire the amp and then install it onto the top of the box. Wow, I think I went a little bit overboard on this project, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't normally use just straight alpha blades without a handle, but I just don't care to find a holder. And I can't remember the last time I cut myself with one of these. And the last connection is my 2 speaker wires. Although this one is kind of a weird amp, because usually to bridge it, you got your left and right, and if you want to bridge mono, you usually go the outside, like the left positive, the right negative. This one's different. I actually have to look at the book. I think it says just go one or the other. So I got the stereo down.